You have to consciously receive love.
Yeah.
Even when it's said over you a lot, like you're loved, unless something in you is actually receiving that, it doesn't have the power to transform us.
Mm-hmm.
But to actually sit on a daily basis, maybe in a moment where you are listening to receive, I am entirely known by God.
Yeah.
And I am fully loved by him. It is life transforming to believe it and to sense it and really feel that that is reality.
Yeah.
It's changing.
Hey, Stonegate Church. Welcome back to another episode of Life Around Stonegate.
Valentine's Day edition.
Valentine's Day edition. Really, it's the girls' takeover. And I am so excited because this is our first time we get to do it together.
And I hope it's not our last.
I know. We'll see if we get fired after this. But we are just so excited because this is the newest team member to women's ministry. And we are just so pumped. Lindsay's obviously been around church and helping and been a dear friend to me and a support and a Bible teacher to y'all. And so about a month ago, our elders said, let's bring her on to staff and build your team. And so it's just been a blast. And this is our first podcast.
So fun. I love it.
So we get the privilege to talk about the loved and somewhat loathed holiday.
Right. The good, the bad, and the ugly
about
Valentine's Day. Here we go.
Right. So I hear the word now is situationship.
Okay.
For relationships. You know, when I was
dating,
it was like we need a DTR. We need to define the relationship.
That's right.
Now it's we need to figure out our situationship.
Okay. What is the situationship with Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Jenn,
what is yours?
What's your situationship with Valentine's Day?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go. I'll figure out mine.
Well, I think currently my situationship is that I'm married and happy, which is great. And I also am still right on the cusp of not having to build Valentine's Day boxes.
That's an exciting moment.
It really is. Yeah, Grayson, my 5th grader, we got one more box to do. Quinn didn't need one this year as a middle schooler. So we'll figure out if we're going to like dunk it through a ball, like a basket, or what we're going to do. But I would say I had mixed situationship feelings about Valentine's. I did get married after college, and so did the whole adult dating thing.
Yowza.
I really was never someone that had a lot of boyfriends growing up, like in high school. So like I didn't even really get the like carnation donate. Like, you know, remember
in
that?
School, you get them for each other.
Right. Like you get a pink one.
You're sitting in class and you're terrified.
Right. No one ever delivered even a yellow carnation to me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't say I loved Valentine's Day.
Right.
It wasn't like something that really made me feel all that great about myself.
Sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, do you love it?
I go back and forth. I think same. I'm married. The biggest situation right now on Valentine's Day is prepping it for children.
Right.
So when it's not that, my husband does a great job of making it special. We get each other gifts. So I have a pretty good experience with Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Actually, his first gift on our first Valentine's when we were dating was a study Bible.
Of course it
there
was.
You go, ladies. Get you guys a study Bible.
How old were you?
I was 18 years old. 17, 18 years old.
There we go.
Yeah, and so some people chided him at our private Christian school, and he held it up and said, "This is true love. This is real romance."
Did he like highlight verses out of like Song of
that
Solomon?
would have been so great. It's so inappropriate.
It's so inappropriate.
Dang, no.
18. Yeah.
So I have a pretty good experience with Valentine's Day. Somewhat similar to what you said, though. Before that was, in class waiting for carnations.
Yeah.
Do you read too much into the small card that someone gave you? But
yes.
For the most part, fairly good experience. I will say married, though, I tried to play it cool. I wanted to be cool. I didn't want to be basic. I don't want to need Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't want to be needy.
Yeah.
Because that's
You're an independent
silly.
woman.
I'm
yeah.
an independent, strong woman. I don't need you to get me things on Valentine's Day, but then immediately was upset if you didn't do something on Valentine's Day. And so I had to be honest with myself and my husband. I said, I do want you to do something for Valentine's Day.
I kind of like the cheesy.
So it's better now. Now I do. I want the cheese. Let's do it. And it's much more honest and helpful. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah, Valentine's Day. So, well, we wanted to come and chat about it, think about it, just be honest about Valentine's Day. I mean, there are pros and cons.
There are good things and bad things about a national holiday that you both loathe and love.
Yeah.
Depending on how you come at it. I'm having a hard time saying we can't.
Oh, we're done with these?
I can't. Okay.
We'll make these cute headbands now.
There are, things to love. Things to love about Valentine's Day. A lot of cute things to find around the store. Great time to tell people that you love, that you do indeed love them. Great time to consume too much candy.
Yeah.
Great excuse to have a party and get people together.
I never eat a Russell Stover's.
Are you ever at any time of the year other than Halloween going to go just buy candy to have? No.
I mean,
this is great.
Life is a box of chocolates.
Indeed it is.
Yeah.
What do you love about this day, Jen? What's good about it?
Well, in my Enneagram 7, 8-ness, I love any reason to celebrate. So right. I love, the fun that it is. The celebration of, I decorate my house. There's hearts and, excuses to wear red and pink. And, it all seems silly on some level, but I think it can be kind of a sweet, precious little celebration time. So anything that bends in that way, I think is great. I also think sometimes we can get in a rut and not do dates with our husbands.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
We can maybe need to up the extravagance a little bit, or it's been a while. So a little good jolt of a reminder that flowers are fun. Dates are important. Those kind of things. I think that's great. I think it's fine. It's good.
I like all those things.
Yeah.
What are the things that are not so great about this holiday? That list might be longer. What's not so great about this institutionalized holiday for love?
Well, conversation hearts are disgusting.
Let's
just start
They're so bad.
with that. They're like chalk in your mouth.
They are bad tasting chalk in your mouth.
Yeah, those are terrible. I do think there's just a lot of bad messaging.
Oh, gosh. And I've even seen the messaging has also shifted. So the overwhelming message of the fulfillment of romantic love, that if you can find that one romantic person, now you have found a reason to live. But since that has failed, right? Messaging has now gone to, it's Galentine's Day.
Yeah.
We had a Galentine's Day thing on Saturday. It was wonderful.
Super fun.
Love getting together with friends. But then it's like, well, if that didn't work out, now if you have your perfect group of friends to celebrate them, and then everything will be fine.
But what if you don't get invited to a Galentine's?
What if you don't get invited to anybody's
Now we're upset again.
Now I'm mad again.
Girls are not meeting my needs either.
That's right. And then when those fail, you can always love yourself. Here's our mug. The mug we found says Self-Love Club. Self-Love Club.
Oh,
man.
Well,
okay.
That's all I got for Valentine's.
I got myself a mug that said Self-Love Club.
Yeah.
It's rough.
It is rough.
A rough landscape of your options for love. Could be romantic, friend, or self, but somehow I think all that's leaving us a little high and dry.
Yeah. I would say that's a major con. There's obviously the things like everything's inflated in price.
Oh, yeah.
The
prices are inflated much like our expectations.
Yeah, there you go. So true. Oh man, whether you're single or married,
either one.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We were just talking to one of the pastors in the office, and his little boy is like, if I don't get a football or a Harry Potter Valentine, it's not cool. It's like he even has expectations for what his Valentine box should look like.
Yeah,
so
this is elementary school.
We are walking into a lot of that. So, man, it is hard sometimes. Well, I think just for the sake of time and other things, but what we wanted to do today is just to encourage you with some truth about whether it's Valentine's Day or any other day, things that we just need to remember. And so if you're just talking to somebody that's like, even if they're excited about Valentine's Day, but maybe their expectations don't end up getting met, or they are single and they're living in a space where it's like, this day is not that fun because it's a reminder of a season I really prefer I wouldn't be in. Right. What would be like one of the things you would just want to encourage?
One of the things that I would love to encourage is, we say it a lot at Stonegate, but it's genuinely true. The knowledge that you are known and deeply loved, because both matter.
Yep.
That if you don't believe that you're known, then something holds out on you that's like, but if people or God really knew, if I was really honest, then So there's always this part of you holding back. And it actually takes, you have to consciously receive love.
Yeah.
Even when it's said over you a lot, like you're loved, unless something in you is actually receiving that, it doesn't have the power to transform us. But to actually sit on a daily basis, maybe in a moment where you are listening, to receive, I am entirely known by God.
Yeah.
And I am fully loved by him. It is life transforming to believe it and to sense it and really feel that that is reality.
Yeah.
It's changing.
Yeah. And I can feel, of course, Lindsay said, we're loved. It's like the Christian, so if you felt that eye roll moment for yourself, as she said, you're loved by God. I don't know. What would you even say to that? Just as an encouragement of other than check yourself, right?
Other than check yourself, bowing up on people. Other than check yourself, I would say that it's actually the love of God is the only thing that makes any difference in our life. For eternity, we're not going to be able to sing about all the great things that we did or the great things we accomplished or the things that we did that lasted or even our love for God. That's not the song.
Yeah.
The thing throughout eternity is a continual revelation and discovery of the love of God. It's the love of God that propelled creation. It's the love of God that continued our salvation. It's the love of God that draws him to us. And it's actually the love of God is the thing that both empowers us to come up out of sin and empowers us to go live in power in his mission. So a lot of times what happens is we're cynical about love, not because God's love isn't good or satisfying. We're cynical about love because of our experiences with humans.
Yeah.
And so usually if there's an eye roll or a choke on, of course, you're talking about the love of God, I would just say lean in more because there's more of his love to be known and experienced. God does want to be experienced very real by us.
Yeah.
As a very real love of our life.
Yeah, I agree. And that love that started this journey for you, that drew you to say, I believe that you died for me, that Jesus was paid as my price, and it can be, I just think of that scripture, restore the joy of my salvation. And it's restore the joy of I am deeply loved is that, because that's what salvation is that the deep love of God. And so I just think for anybody that is feeling that gap, whether it's Valentine's or in general, is just ask the Lord to restore that for you. Yeah. Sit in it, and meditate on it. Read scriptures about how much he loves you. Yeah. And the Spirit can do that for you and draw so near. I think that's great.
I feel like even this morning, I'm sitting this morning early, and I've got my Bible out, and I'm praying, and I'm listening. And I felt it was so difficult this morning just to focus. I had so much going on in my brain this morning that it was difficult. Multiple times I'm just trying to breathe and calm down. And it was at least 30 minutes of that fight. I'm thinking about my to-do list. I'm thinking about the person I got to call. Now I'm trying to recenter again. And the moment that made a distinct difference was a moment where I sense and I hear. I'm telling myself also, I am entirely known by God, 100% known by him, which means he is well aware of current, past, future sin in me, entirely aware of all of it. Even when I am unaware, he is aware of all of the issues and all their nuances. And he has already made up his mind about me this morning and every morning. He has already said it's paid for, and he's already chosen to love. And it was that moment, right, where I'm finally seeing that he has fully known me and already made up his mind about me. I was able to focus.
And it doesn't fluctuate.
That doesn't change
nothing
today.
You can do makes it better.
Because I was less focused today and more focused tomorrow.
Right.
Unwavering.
Yeah, complete. I think the idea of another reminder would just be that you are known. You mentioned that. And known in your sin, yes. And in your greatness, whatever that is, but also just known in what is your situation. Absolutely. And I think another encouragement I would say is if you feel like your expectations aren't being met on Valentine's Day, or maybe you wish your husband would do more than he's doing, or you're just in a hard season, maybe you're single and you don't want to be honest with the Lord.
Yeah.
I think it's okay to feel the things, those emotions that you're feeling. They aren't an excuse to go sin or act out in any way, but they are a place to go to the Lord and say, this is where I'm at, and can you meet me in that? Can you talk to me about that? Can you encourage me? And he already knows, and so just being willing to like go there again with him of just how you're feeling about what kind of feels like a silly day is bringing something up. Yeah. And that can be your time with the Lord as you process that and be honest.
Yep. Jenn, what would you say to someone who's saying, I don't have a lot of amazing people around me. I'm a little bit isolated. What do I do with this day that just hits the nerve? I mean, you said to it some, but.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing would just be you're not alone. So much of this can feel just really lonely. Yeah. Whether it's I didn't get a carnation and everybody else did, all the way to, you're sitting at home. And on a practical level, I think you should really love yourself to stay off social media. Like, you don't need to go watch everybody else's experiences. You don't need to read everybody else's posts about their significant other and, write the honoring thing about that spouse that day and how much they love them. And you don't need to see the dates or the gifts. Like, you don't need to. Like, they get to go experience that and have their moment. But if that takes you to a place of comparison or it robs you of joy or makes you feel less than, I would just say fast from it. Like, stay off of it this week. Spend time with the Lord and just remember he is present. You aren't alone because God is with you. And he wants to spend time with you. And we talk a lot about enjoying Jesus. And so there is really nothing better than enjoying his presence. Yeah. It is more enjoyable than a romantic date. Yeah. And that is hard to believe when it's not feeling like you can touch it, see it, taste it, Yeah. But leaning into that. And again, we can ask God to help us. Ask him, God, I want to enjoy you. And right now it doesn't feel enjoyable. Yeah. Like that's the true confession of your heart, and ask him to do that. What does it look like to be in his presence for you? Like, we talk about, we know he's with us because we read that in the Bible, but what does that look like?
For me, the way I've experienced it is there are some moments that it's like I do tell myself that, especially if that moment is particularly mundane or feels unimportant or wildly boring to me. I tell myself, he is here. He is here. And that recognition of just saying that over and over sometimes just becomes an awareness that he is here. There are practicals that have helped. Every Moment Holy, that book helped me think of a morning coffee or doing laundry or really basic things as a moment to be like, God is here, and can I do this thing with you, Jesus? Yeah. Like as if you were my friend sitting on my kitchen island while I'm doing dishes. He's present, listening to everything that I'm going through. And those basic things have changed the basic part of my day to knowing he is here. Yeah. He is here.
The praying without ceasing for me is the conversational relationship God that I have cultivated over time. Yeah. That I feel like is so valuable. I loved a few episodes ago on this podcast, Travis and Brandon and Ryan were all talking about listening. Yeah. And what does it look like? And I loved, I think it was Travis when they said, he said some mornings when I ask the Lord, like, what do I need to know today? He just hears, I love you. Yeah. He just hears, I love you. And it's like, it's not a just. That's the most important thing is that the God of the universe would say that. And it's what you need. So you're getting his presence with the reminder of the deepest truth, which satisfies our soul, is that we're loved. So
absolutely. There is no human being who wouldn't do better starting off their day with that knowledge right there. Like believe in that. Every believer's got to start off there. Remember this morning when you wake up, you are loved by him.
Yeah, you are. And how we respond will change to other people, to circumstances when we're walking in that truth. Yeah. So, and how we respond to Valentine's Day. Yes. Because we're free to then love.
Free to love without all the strings and inflated expectations. Yeah. Free to love.
Yeah. Well, Stonegate, we love you. Not as much as God, because that's what we're mainly focusing on here. But we do. We love you guys. And we really do hope that a made-up holiday like Valentine's Day can remind you that you are loved, you're known, and you're not alone. And that He wants to spend deep time with you, getting to know you as you share with Him. So we pray this was a blessing. We're going to eat some chocolate and see if we get like a gross inside. I personally would not want to bite into anything fruity on the inside. Like
I don't want
strawberry
any chocolate
cream.
and fruit. I don't need that in my life.
No, that's wrong. I'm going to go dark chocolate, caramel, sea salt, or whatever. So whatever your chocolate pleasure is, go grab it. We love you guys. And, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.